if you have ever heard you're not a cultural fit, we went ahead with another candidate, or you cleared HR but the recruiter suddenly stopped responding, it usually feels random. But the hiring decisions are actually very structured. In this video, I will explain how recruiters think and in three parts. First will be what cultural fit really means. Second, why good candidates still get rejected. Third will be whether a recruiter truly trusts your profile. Once you understand this, the interviews start making much more sense. So let's get into it. So the first part is what cultural fit actually means. Most candidates misunderstand cultural fit. They think companies are judging personality, whether you are extroverted, friendly, or socially similar to the team, but that's rarely the case. Cultural fit is actually about work behavior, alignment. Companies are trying to predict one thing: will this person function smoothly in our working environment? So they observe patterns like, do you take ownership of work? Are you structured while explaining things? How do you react when you don't know something? Now, here's why this matters. Different organizations operate very differently. A startup environment is fast and ambiguous. There may not be documentation or clear guidance. They prefer candidates who act independently and adapt quickly. A large organization or MNC works the opposite way. They rely on processes, approvals, and coordination across the team. So, the same candidate can be selected in one company and rejected in another without any change in capability. That's the cultural fit. Not personality, not hobbies, not introvert or extrovert. Just alignment with how the work happens inside the company. Now comes the second part. Why technically good candidates still get rejected? Now let's talk about one of the most frustrating situations. You answered everything correctly. The interview went well. Still rejected? This happens because the hiring is not just a knowledge exam. It's a risk decision. Companies are not selecting the smartest candidate. They are selecting the safest and the most suitable candidate for this role. They evaluate multiple layers. First comes the role alignment. Every job needs a different type of worker. A strong individual contributor may not be a fit for collaboration heavy role. A good executor may struggle in a decision making rate. So even if you are capable, mismatch leads to rejection. Next up, we have experience relevance. Companies don't just ask what you know, they ask where you have applied it. Two candidates can show the same tool, but the one who used it in a similar business situation is preferred. The third one is work style. Some teams require constant communication, others require independent execution. Mismatch increases training risk, and that leads to rejection. Fourth is the compensation alignment. This is not just affordability. If expected salary doesn't match the expected impact level, companies hesitate because the value equation feels off. So rejection usually doesn't mean you are not good enough. It means you were not the lowest risk match for the specific role. Now here comes the third part when a recruiter feels confident sending your profile. Now let's understand something important. Recruiters don't forward every resume. They only send profiles they trust because their credibility is attached to them. So what builds that trust? First step is logical match. Your skills match the job description. Your experience matches the level of the role. If a role needs 2 years of experiences and your projects are around only beginner level, the recruiter hesitates. Step 2 comes your clarity. They listen how you actually explain your work. Can you describe your project in a structured way? Do you actually understand the tools you mentioned? Are your answers consistent? Confidence matters more than perfection. Step 3 comes your seriousness. Recruiters track candidates' behavior closely. Will you attend interviews? Will you disappear after round 1? Are you genuinely interested or casually exploring? Reliability strongly affects shortlisting. Now comes the salary realism. A small gap is fine. A large mismatch creates risk of offer rejection. When all these align, a recruiter feels safe presenting you to the client. At that point, you are not just skilled, you are predictable, and hiring decisions favor predictability. So, if interviews feel random, remember hiring is not about proving intelligence, it's about reducing your employer risk. Cultural fit check, work style. Rejections check suitability, shortlisting checks reliability. Once you prepare for interviews with this understanding, you stop guessing and start aligning.